Hello, peace seekers. This is Saniqua White popping in to give you a piece of my mind that will hopefully give you some peace of mind. Today, I have a question for you. What do you do to care for yourself mentally? What is it that you do on a regular, consistent basis that helps you recharge and replenish mentally? This is something that I believe everyone should be able to answer within seconds of me asking that question. And if you cannot answer me right now, you need to really sit down and think about this, because it means that either you're not caring for yourself mentally or you're not caring for yourself well. So I'm going to come back later probably in a different video and talk about coping strategies. And I probably already have some videos that I can link to this one that will get you started. But what I'm talking about right now is not necessarily a coping strategy, even though it is. And so what I mean by that is I have specific coping strategies, and then I have things that I just simply do to help me recharge and replenish and stay on top of my mental health. And those include eating regularly and consistently and properly, getting the adequate amount of rest for myself, because everybody is different. Not everybody needs 8 hours or 10 hours of sleep, but you need to know what is optimal for you. That is something that you can do for yourself mentally. That is not necessarily a coping strategy or a coping skill, but it is something that you do regularly to assist yourself in sustaining your mental health and maintaining your mental health. Some other things that I do are just letting my mind relax, because I listen to people's problems all day long. I intake a lot of negativity because it's coming from other people's lives. So I try my best to keep the negativity out of my life at all times, if at all possible. And that's not necessarily a coping strategy, but then again, it is. But it's something that I do to mentally care for myself on a regular basis. And that means anything and anybody. I don't watch the news too much or too often, because the news is mostly negative. I don't hang around people who are draining. I have people in my life, family members to speak of, that are very negative, and that's just because their lives have been traumatic. My family is a family that struggles with anxiety. It's a generational thing that I am aware of in myself, but I do have coping strategies as well as things that I just typically do to mentally care for myself. Like, I come from a family of alcoholism, so for me, I don't drink. I just don't, because I don't know if I have any of those tendencies. I also come from a family of gamblers. So I don't gamble, because I don't know if I started doing some of those things, if it would become an addiction for me like it is an addiction for them. So that those are not necessarily coping strategies, but they are things that I do for myself on a regular basis to make sure that I am mentally as healthy as I can be. And because I listen and intake other people's stress and trauma, I have to make sure that every day I am de-stressing. So like I said, that means I have to shut off at least by 9 o'clock at night. Everything has to shut off. I don't look at my computer anymore. I don't look at my cell phone anymore. I have to get myself ready to wind down, or I won't be able to sleep. I'll have constant thoughts. I'll have people's stuff running through my head. I'll be processing other things if I don't make myself shut down. And when I say make myself, I don't naturally shut down. My mind naturally runs all the time. So it's me forcing myself to do some of those things. So those aren't necessarily coping strategies, but those are things that I do on a regular basis to mentally prepare myself for recharging. So what I'm asking you is to figure out, what is it that you do for yourself that mentally recharges you on a regular basis. This needs to be something you do at least 2 to 3 times per week to keep yourself in balance and in harmony. Sometimes your life is going to be a little out of whack because maybe this week you've got a lot of events, church events or work events or whatever it is that you do. So you may not always be in balance, so to speak. But once that stuff is over, what do you do to get yourself back in a state of rest and relaxation and harmony and what you would consider balance? So you have to think about things on a regular, consistent basis that you do to mentally stay in check. If you don't know what that is, I would love for you, first of all, to sound off in the comments to let me know what you do. And if you don't have something that you do, definitely sound off in the comments and let me know, I'm stuck. I don't have anything. Like I said, I'm going to drop some stuff in the description box where you can click on it and go and try and do some things to help yourself get there, to help yourself start to get in that, at least thinking in that manner of what can I do to help myself figure out what I need to do for myself mentally, because you're going to need to do this for yourself so that you can also help other people do it for themselves. Your family, whoever you work with, your community, whoever you come into contact with. So think about that and sound off in the comments. What do you do for yourself mentally to keep yourself charged, recharged, and in balance and in harmony with yourself? I'll be back soon with some more content. If you like what you're hearing, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Like I said, remember to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. I'll be back soon. Until then, be proactive about your mental health, be well, and God bless.